Ahoy hoy y'all, how we doing this afternoon, not tonight. And yes, we have a little visitor here as you see Doc jumping down. He wanted to be a part of this for a moment as well. How we doing? It is Daytona Day. We finally have Daytona in the books, and it was a little more exciting than last year. I'm not gonna say it was terrible, but wasn't quite what I think I would want out of a Daytona race, if we're being honest. Um, we'll wait for a few people to stream in here because it doesn't look like we have really anybody here just yet. Now we'd have somebody. So hello there. Hopefully you enjoyed Daytona today. Glad to have the ARCA season kicked off. That's the biggest thing here. Is we've got the season started, although we've got a bit of a break. Hey, Mom. Hey, Casey. Hey, Casey. Glad to have the season kicked off, although I feel like we could have definitely done better than that. I don't know. There's a lot of things I feel like we could have done better with this race. Definitely could have been worse. It could have been last year. Could have been the year before. Barney's not happy. Or no, I forgot. We're calling him Blaney again. Blaney's not happy. I'm not surprised. I don't blame you, for being honest. Honestly, there's probably a lot of things to not be happy about with this race, if we're being honest. Between not throwing a caution on the last lap, to one-lap shootouts, to Venturini dominance. Andy J was very impressive in sixth, especially after getting caught up in that wreck there with like 30 to go. Hey, no, that's not a toy. No. The perils of being live. Got to scold Doc while we're live. It was nice to see Andy J come back from that. I felt like he actually probably could have raced for the win, honestly, if that hadn't happened. Maybe, if they could have broken up the Venturini cars. I mean, that's the biggest thing here. I mean, you can't blame the Venturini cars. They've figured it out. They've figured out how to dominate these races. A, be fast. B, get in a group and make a wall and don't let anybody get around you. You can't blame them for that. But as a viewer, it does make it hard to watch sometimes. Mater made me real mad. Okay, I will say it 5 times fast. Mater made me real mad. 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 Boom, did it. Okay. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Hey, Landon. I'm not really sure what he was thinking in that moment. Obviously didn't know the caution was out, I would assume. But who do you place the blame on for that? Do you place it on him for not seeing the lights? Do you place it on his spotter for not telling him the caution was out? Crew chief for not telling? Like, who do you blame for that? That's the thing. I don't know if you can completely put it all on him to blame him for that. But I don't know. I will say, though, this race shows why one-lap shootouts shouldn't be a thing. The rationale we've gotten from ARCA in the past, only if Sanchez didn't spin out Kitzmiller, it wouldn't have happened. That's true. Well, okay, so you can't blame that on Sanchez. I like the majority of the race except for Mater in the ending. Can't blame that on Sanchez. Sanchez didn't change lanes. Kitzmiller came down on him. So you can't blame Sanchez for that. That's more on Kitzmiller. Whether you want to blame it on Kitzmiller or not, that's more on Kitzmiller. One-lap shootout shouldn't be a thing. The rationale we've gotten from ARCA in the past, by the way, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Apparently that's the biggest thing in the YouTube algorithm now. So the more likes the video gets, the more it gets pushed. So yes, please and thank you. That's the rationale we've gotten from ARCA in the past on one-lap shootouts is they keep less cars from getting torn up. Okay, they didn't keep cars from getting torn up today. You're going to get torn up race cars no matter what in that situation, 9 times out of 10, whether you have a 1-lap shootout or a 2-lap shootout. I don't mind that it's limited to 1 attempt. In fact, I like that, because then you get into the problem of you're going to tear up a lot more cars when you go 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts like we did in 2018, and that's why the 1-lap shootout, 1 attempt rule was put in place in the first place, was the 2018 race. But the cars aren't even up to full song after 1 lap. You're going to tear up cars regardless. We showed that today with Drew Dollar getting torn up on the last lap in the 1-lap shootout. You're going to tear up cars regardless. There is no reason not to run that extra lap with everybody up to speed to give the fans a better chance at a good finish. Because we didn't get a good finish today. We just didn't. And that falls on ARCA for their 1-lap shootout rule. It just does. By the way, if you notice me looking to the left, I'm having a hard time retraining my eyes to look in this direction at the camera because I've had to flip the phone around on the gimbal because of the receiver for the mic. It won't fit on the normal side, so I had to actually flip the phone around in the gimbal, and I'm having a hard time remembering to look at the other side of the phone. Yes, I do have results 16th to 36. Let's go through the entire results here. That way everybody knows. Corey Heim is your winner. Parker Chase second. Daniel Dye third. Fourth was Sean Corr. Fifth is Gus Dean. Sixth, Andy Jankowiak. Mason Diaz seventh. Dave Mater the third and eighth. Tony Breidinger ninth. Ryan Huff rounded out the top 10. Raja Caruth 11th. Dale Quarterly 12th. Brayton Laster 13th. Willie Mullins 14th. Chuck Hires 15th. Amber Balkin finished 16th, Jason White 17th, Tim Richmond 18th, Drew Dollar 19th, Nick Sanchez in 20th, Michael Lira 21st, Greg Van Alst 22nd, D.L. Wilson 23rd, Zachary Tinkle in 24th. 25th was Benny Chastain, 26th Brian Dowza, 27th Brian Caltrider, Brad Smith in 28th, Con Nicolopoulos 29th, and Scott Melton in 30th. Christian Rose 31st, Max Gutierrez 32nd, Bryce Hogberg 33rd, Jason Kitzmiller 34th, Will Kimmel 35th, and Eric Caudell in 36th. So that's your full results from this race. Now, the biggest thing here to me, I think, is Daniel Dye is essentially going to leave here with the points lead. Technically not, because Corey Heim and Parker Chase are in front of him. But if we're looking at the overall season coming away from this, Daniel Dye was the highest finishing full-timer in this race. So Daniel Dye gets a little bit of a head start on everyone else. In terms of full-timers, Tony Breidinger would be second. She finished in 9th. Raja Caruth in 11th. He would be 3rd. Amber Balkin in 16th would be 4th. Nick Sanchez in 20th would be 5th. And Greg Van Alst, 22nd, would be 6th. Technically, Brad Smith has said he's going to run the full season. We'll see about that because he usually ends up skipping a race or two due to budget reasons, but he is 28th, so he would be 7th of the full-timers. So, a lot to take away from this race. I don't know. What did you guys think? Well, I guess we already asked that, and you guys seemed like the consensus was about 6 to 7 from you guys. I would agree it's probably somewhere in that range. If I had to give it a score, I think the 1-lap shootout at the end brought it down more than it would have. I'd say a 6 is probably about right if I had to give it a score. There's a lot of improvements that can and should be made with Daytona and Talladega in ARCA. Hey, Ashton. And ARCA does not seem to want to do that. And I think a lot of problems would be fixed by just doing a 2-lap shootout. I really don't see a reason why a 2-lap shootout can't be a thing. We're going to talk about this in the Rewind show as well, and hopefully somebody at ARCA sees that. I don't get it. I keep coming back to the 1-lap shootout thing because it It's the thing that grinds my gears the most right now with Daytona and Talladega racing. We still haven't had a good finish, and that's just frustrating. Are you talking about this weekend or like ARCA at Daytona in general? I can't even remember what the truck race finish was last night, so I guess that probably means it wasn't good. Oh, that's right. It ended under caution with Zane Smith. That's right. Yeah, this weekend in general. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Xfinity today might end up being pretty good. We'll see. I kind of thought that about ARCA, given what we saw at Talladega last year, and then it wasn't. So, I don't know. Noah Gragson gonna win. We'll see about that. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's been pretty good at Daytona the last couple of years, so it's not like it would be a surprise if he did. I don't know. There's a lot to take away from this race. There's some things to be happy about, but I think there's more to be disappointed about. You said what, 6.1, I think is what you said. There's some things to be happy about, but I think there's more to be disappointed about with this race. Unless he fails. I don't see him failing inspection. 6.5 for Moff. There's more to be disappointed about than there is to be happy about with this race, I think, unfortunately. I hate to be the Debbie Downer like that. I want to pump up ARCA. I do. I want to be that guy that's saying ARCA is fantastic. Everything ARCA does is great. Unfortunately, I can't in good faith say that about this race. And a lot of the problems with this race fall on ARCA themselves in things that they could fix and they have refused to the last few years. So hopefully things change going forward. Maybe the Drew Dollar wreck on the one-lap shootout today will open their eyes and they'll go, we're going to tear up cars whether we do a one-lap shootout or a two-lap shootout. Maybe we should just go ahead and do a two-lap shootout and give the fans a better finish. One can only hope, right? But I think that's probably about where we're going to wrap this up. I don't know that I have much else to talk about with this race. So I will try to start working on the Rewind show. It probably won't go out until Monday. We'll see, though. I'm going to try to get... I shouldn't really have an issue getting a Corey Heim interview. It's just a matter of when. So I might stick it into the Rewind show if I have the interview done by the time it goes out, if it goes out on Monday. So we'll see. Might have a Corey Heim interview in there. Probably will have highlights. It'll be a jam-packed Rewind show. It's just a matter of when it goes out. Might be tomorrow, might be Monday. We'll see. Keep your eye out for that. So, if you happen to be new here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you know when those things come out. And the Corey Heim interview may be separate, so that might be an extra video in the coming days. So, thanks for hanging out, y'all. And we will see you for the Rewind show on either tomorrow or Monday. Peace.